So we are here every Tuesday in front of Penny Wong, Foreign Minister Penny Wong's office here on Guja Street, to remind them that we are going to be here every Tuesday until they free Julian Assange.
Free Julian!
Free Julian Assange! Thank you very much, people. How can we live in a democracy if Julian Assange, a publisher, is in a maximum security prison in London for exposing truthful information? You don't live in a democracy.
I think it's an absolute travesty. It's a joke that, you know, an Australian citizen, regardless of whether he's an Australian or not, he's a citizen of any country that's done something absolutely heroic, and he's been sentenced. Hasn't even been sentenced. He's been incarcerated essentially for 12, almost 13 years now for exposing war crimes, which should be a heroic act, not not something that he could be punished for. So it's ridiculous. Free Julian Assange.
My upbringing was in a journalist family. My dad was a journalist, my grandfather, my sister's a journalist. So I know the media, and what they do now is nothing remotely like they did when my dad was a journo, and he would be furious, absolutely furious with the way they're behaving now.
So here I am out front of Penny Wong's city office here in downtown Adelaide. And I have to say to all of you that have turned up today, that's a pleasure and a privilege to be with you, being so determined for so many months now. I think it started, did it not in July, in September?
Oh, no, we've been here for, how long have we been here? Nearly a year and a half.
A year and a half you've been doing this, eh?
Yeah, 18 months. Yeah,
really?
We're going to be here every single Tuesday until Julian Assange is released.
How long have you been doing this for?
Oh, a couple of months, that's all.
So many people, Assange supporters, voted for Labor thinking that Albanese was going to be completely different than what we've had with Scott Morrison and the Liberal Party. So in November, Monique Ryan stood up in Parliament and asked Anthony Albanese what they were doing about Julian Assange. And at that point, he said that they have made representations to the highest levels of the US administration, which then everyone thought, oh, well, that's fantastic, you know, quiet diplomacy, which he's been trying to do, saying that he's doing. And we did believe him, or we were hoping, we were living in hope. And then a couple of months ago, Rex Patrick, who's a former senator, did an FOI, so a Freedom of Information request. In that Freedom of Information request, he had found out that not only Anthony Albanese, but Penny Wong herself have made no representations to the US administration. Not one letter has been sent. They're completely lying. So Albanese stood up in the Australian Parliament and answered a question to Monique Ryan straight in the Australian Parliament saying, yes, we've made representations, and they actually haven't.
they won the election, I was so jubilant because I thought one of the first things they'd do would be to arrange for Assange to be released. And as the weeks went on and the months, I just got bitterly, bitterly disappointed. And I'll never ever vote for Wong again. She will always, I will sit there with the Senate ticket and number it all the way down to her name, and I'll ensure she's last. Very therapeutic doing that.
Penny Wong's been doing the same thing. She's been sending emails out for people that are asking about Julian and how he is, and she has been saying also that they're making representations. Now, that's actually a lie.